Hi, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everybody. My name is Ash. This is Indie Insider. My guest today is Ryan Jesse. Hi, Ryan. How are you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for taking time out of your day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure.
Fantastic. You got your coffee going?
Yeah,
Oh,
waking up,
good.
gonna start the gym in a little bit.
Right. Ryan, can you please tell us your first experience with music
Um, as far as a listener or an artist,
for both?
I think my earliest memory, was being a little kid in the back of my mom's car, and she would always play Cher records and Earth, Wind and Fire and stuff like that. And I remember just singing along, trying to, and that was probably my earliest. And then I think, maybe 12 or 11. And I remember getting ready for a basketball game and seeing Avenged Sevenfold came on MTV when they were still doing music videos and Backcountry was on. I remember just like stopping everything that I was doing and just watching it and being like, dude, I need to do that the rest of my life.
So that's how
Yeah,
you
pretty much
first.
just didn't look back since then. So.
So since then you've got into music, you decided to become a musician.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably, I mean, I kind of bounced around a lot though. I mean, I did sports in high school and stuff growing up, and I was really, and still am really into fitness. So that was kind of like the original career path, but it was always like my dream to do music. I just never thought I was going to be good enough. And
Right.
then I think I was about 19, and I was kind of said like, fuck it. I kind of say that. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Cool.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
I said, screw it. I'm just gonna try to do it, and I wound up joining this band and playing guitar in the band, and we wound up, kind of getting things going and touring a little bit, and things were moving. We had management and stuff like that, but then I just decided that the band thing wasn't for me, and I wanted to pursue a career as a solo artist and be a singer. And yeah, came down to Nashville like 2 years ago and started doing it down here.
Okay. And do you find the audience there is very hard to break into?
At first, yes, it was really kind of obnoxious. I felt like I was just spending all this money on recordings and videos and stuff like that, and nothing was happening. But then recently, social media has been very good to me. And my last single, before this past one, really hit the algorithm, and people just really took to it. And right now, it seems like everybody's really loving what I'm doing, and it's really cool because at first I was kind of like worried if I should do it or not, since it is kind of like rock and metal blending with country. And it's something that's just like kind of not heard of before, but seem to be really liking it. So.
I actually quite like that. It makes such a big difference to have both genres and to have a blend. I think it's fantastic.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I really like that sort of music, because you get a bit of both worlds.
Yeah, and I mean that's me in a nutshell. Like I grew up on essentially like metal, Saint Avenged
Right.
Sevenfold, stuff like that. But I grew up like, fishing, and I was raised right, and like there's just a lot of stuff that I gravitate towards in country. So it was kind of like my two favorite genres. I was like, I don't want to just be an artist for one genre.
Right.
So how do we combine the two? And luckily I figured it out enough that people are digging it. So.
Oh, you made it work.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And
You
also,
know, there's
sorry,
always those people
go
I'm
ahead.
saying country music. So you got some people that don't like what I'm doing, but
Oh,
you're
well,
always gonna have that.
they don't have taste then.
Well, I mean, they have their own taste, and it might be bland, but that's them.
No, as I said, that's my sort of thing. I get the best of both worlds. It makes you groove, it makes you dance, it makes you jump up, it makes you do all sorts of things, which is good.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's just I like music with energy.
Yes,
And,
I agree. You don't want to have a sad song that you start crying and oh
well, those are cool every now and then too, but not all of them. Every now
no,
and then, music's just got to make you feel something, whatever it is, and that's what
exactly.
I strive to do.
And tell us, who would you describe as your musical influences?
Oh my God, how much time you got? I'm all over. Um, I mean, growing up, it's funny. I started realizing that there's a lot of avenged in like some like my melodies recently with some of the stuff we're writing. Um, I'm a big fan of Morgan and Ernest and Hardy and the way they are just incredible, incredible songwriters. Um, a lot of metalcore bands, Slipknot for sure,
Right.
which we actually have a song gonna be coming out that we kind of modeled after like Slipknot. Like, so we have a Slipknot country song coming out, kind of. And yeah, I mean, I'm all over the spectrum though. I mean, Post Malone is insane.
Yes.
I love like the singer-songwriters. Like, I'm growing up, I remember listening to a lot of Ron Pope and John Mayer, and just I'm everywhere. If it's
You're
good music,
everywhere.
I listen to it. Yeah.
And also, Ryan, could you tell us about if you have any pre-show rituals?
Um, no, not really. I
Not
mean,
really.
I just make sure that I have my water. I usually drink my tea to make sure
Right.
my voice is going to be good. And I warm up. I do my vocal warm up, and I just kind of hang out and chill. Just get ready to
And
play.
chill. Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? That's actually a good enough ritual to me.
I'm sure it'll change too. I mean, as time goes on, I get bored easily, so I'll probably just wind up like throwing some random shit in there that I'll be like, all right, that's what we need to do before the show. Or I'm like super like, if I have like a really dope show and I do something beforehand, I'm like, I gotta do that every time.
Right. And of course, it just I suppose it differs from show to show or whatever.
What was that?
It differs from show to show or performance that you do. It differs how you
Oh
get
yeah,
ready.
for sure. Because I mean, the venues are all different too. I mean, sometimes you have some nicer venues where like everything's just right there, and then sometimes you got to find a gas station a half a mile away and get some hot water for your tea. You never
Oh,
know.
well, word. Okay. That's not
So
good.
yeah, I mean, it depends, and it is what it is. That's the business. It's like it's kind of fun. It's kind of the adventure in it all.
Oh, well, I suppose that is quite an adventure where you have to do your own thing, where it's not provided for you.
Yeah, we're not on the princess level yet, where I have everything in the green room. So you got to figure it out for now.
Figure it out. And which song of yours was the most difficult for you to write?
Um, I feel like I feel like happy songs or love songs are the happiest for me to write. That's why I don't have any of them. But I don't know. As long as I mean, if I put it out, it was probably easy to write because I resonated with it, and it's a story of mine coming from my heart. So if you're hearing it, and it's out, it probably wasn't hard to write. There's some that are harder than others recently.
Right,
As I've been trying to dive into some more, songwriter type of techniques and stuff when you're approaching songwriting and just getting better as a writer.
right.
But they're only harder because, you're getting better. You're not like, you're not great yet. Nobody's perfect yet.
But you
So,
get in there.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, it's kind of just, it's my therapy. It's how I just get everything out. So to me, it's like it's needed more so than it is hard. It's not something that I don't want to do. It's something that like I look forward to doing.
Right. Well, that's fascinating. Really, it's fascinating. And can you tell us about your favorite performance or tour so far?
Well, we haven't done a tour yet. I'm still very, very green to all of this. We're hoping to string together some shows and book out a tour for next year.
Oh, good.
To be determined yet. But it'll sound funny, but it's probably like my first like hometown show. I wound up playing like I think it was in like June.
Right.
Like I said, I'm very green to this still. I was touring with the band, but doing my own stuff has been just been getting rolling. And it was probably that one because it was cool. I mean, it was like, I had the good crowd from back home and people that had never heard me play before. I got to play for them. And, it was just a small bar that I remember
Right.
going to, when I was just turning 21 and sitting at the bar drinking beers and watching football. And then, here I am down in Nashville, like back doing what
Well,
I actually want to be
what
doing.
you
So it was a full circle moment for sure.
you're doing what you love to do.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, as I say. If you don't do something that you hate, well, if you do something that you hate, you don't enjoy it. But if you do something that you love, you make it work.
Yeah. If you do something you love, you never work a day in your life.
Exactly, exactly. I stick to that.
I
what
try
was
to.
what was the last song you wrote about?
Oh, shit. What was the last one? I think it's still not done yet. We have like two more lines. We just like had to like rush out of the studio, and we're just
Right.
gonna finish that soon. Um, I don't know. Let's go with the one before that. There's a song that we wrote. I came up with this title called "By the Way," and I wanted to play on like the double entendre of what "by the way" could mean in a sentence. So it's pretty much just like, by the way, I'm doing all right since you went and left me, but it doesn't look like you're doing too good. By the way, you're sitting at the bar there drinking them shots. So
Okay, so
that
you just got to
that
finish
was
those
the
two.
last one. Yeah, no, that one's finished up.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, I write all the time. I mean, I have a lot of songs that are just sitting around. So I'm getting ready to release some more this coming year. We've been in the studio tracking out some songs and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I write 3 to 4 times a week, 3 to 4 songs a week.
And it just comes naturally to you. You don't sit there thinking, mental block.
Oh, that happens all the time. Like the more you think about it, the more you run into those walls. But the more you think about it, the more you get past those walls too.
Right. So it just comes easier and easier the more you do it.
Yeah, it's like a muscle. Songwriting is like a muscle essentially. The more you're doing it, the easier it gets. It's like go to the gym. You go to the gym for like 4 weeks
Yes.
straight. That fourth week is always easier than the first week.
Yes, I can. Yeah, the first week your muscles are aching, you don't want to move, you think, oh, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And then you go the next week and the next week, and then before you know it, it becomes like a natural thing to do.
Yeah, and then if you stop for 2 weeks, you're just screwed, and then you got to start all
Exactly,
over again.
exactly. Then you're back to square one.
So you pretty much just have to start and never stop
Yeah,
on the hamster wheel of songwriting forever.
I agree with that. And would you also please let us know what venue would you love to play in the world and where would it be or what would it be?
I don't know. I don't think I have a specific venue that I'd want to play. I mean, like Bridgestone and down here in Nashville would be sick because that's just like, it's kind of like the Nashville, like you made it. If you're headlining Bridgestone, like out of Nashville, like that's a big deal. And then you'd probably like the Nashville venues, the Ryman and the Opry. Those would just be honors to be invited to play at. I could fiddle around with a bass, a piano, and keep a beat on the drums, but it's mainly just that guitar and singing is kind of my strong suit. You
That's your
don't really
forte.
want, yeah, you don't want to really hear me on a drum kit, to be honest.
Oh,
That's
well, nothing
one
wrong with that.
that's one instrument I want to get better at, but it's a tough one. The house isn't gonna like that too much.
Could you give any advice for any aspiring musicians?
Just do it and play every day as much as you can and love it. And I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean, the more you do it, the more influence you take and the more you think about it, like the more progress you're gonna see. But like at the end of the day, like love it because
Love
it's
it.
very easy to look at this like a job when you're getting into the position that I'm in. And sometimes you have to remember that, you want to pick up that guitar and write a song just because that's what you love to do and not because it's like what you have to do today. You get to do that. And that's the perspective that you should look at things.
Exactly. That's
That's
pretty
my
good
advice.
advice. That's pretty good advice. Did anybody give you advice when you were first starting as a musician?
When I was first starting, my first guitar teacher just like hammered me down with like practice these modes. And I'm like, I saw him actually recently, and I was probably like 13, maybe like 15. So like this is going on like 12 years now since I had like those lessons with him. And he
Wow.
came to one of my shows, and I was like, "Hey man, I still don't know what a fucking mode is." So we had a good laugh. We had a good laugh over that. You know, it's a theory, and one of those things. Guitar was just like never like singing is definitely my instrument. I love guitar, and there's something that it does to me, but I just connect with singing as like my tool a little bit more.
Oh, that's
Um,
good.
but yeah, no, people were just pretty much. I remember when I first came to Nashville, I met this artist who was friends with this girl I was seeing at the time, and I was telling him how I was thinking about moving here, and he was like, "Just do it." He told me he came here with like $600 in his pocket and just like figured it out. And
Right.
yep, I just went and did it.
Well, that's what you got to do. You got to jump into the deep end and just go for it. I mean, if you diddle and worry about things, you don't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like it ain't gonna kill you. You know, people. I feel like people
Exactly.
are so afraid to jump and like take a chance, but like the worst that happens is like you lose out on a little bit of money and time. Like, you know, there's always gonna be, God willing, another day, and you know, there's always gonna be money to be made. So it's
Exactly.
ain't the end of the world.
Shout it out.
Yeah.
And does where you live make you think to yourself, I will make it. I'm not going to let anybody tell me any different, no matter if you're in Nashville or LA or wherever. You actually say to yourself, I'm going to do it.
I've never been to LA. I feel like I wouldn't like it too much. So, I mean, I'm sure I'll be out there at some point. But um, yeah, moving to Nashville is definitely just inspiring. I mean, you leave a small town where, you know, no one's really doing music. So you're, you know, a big fish in a little pond.
Yes,
And then you come here and then you're the little fish in a
the
very
big
big
pond.
pond. And you just see all the talent around you and just pushes you to like want to get better. But I mean, for me, there was just never a plan B. I mean, I just know that this is what I'm supposed to do because if I don't play guitar for a couple of days, I get cranky. I'm like I'm like an addict. It's pretty much a part of me at this point now, you know.
You've got
So
to play guitar no matter what.
yeah, I mean, just music in general. I have to just be around it and play it and do it and create. Otherwise, like I feel like I feel like I have a gas tank that just like gets to like empty and it's got to get like filled back up.
Yeah, full it fast. And Ryan, please tell us, what can fans expect from your live show?
It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be loud. It's
Loud,
gonna be loud.
good.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of energy. And so hope you guys feel something. Hope you guys come there and you know you leave and thinking even more higher of me as an artist and as a person. And that's just hope what I hope to do.
Now, you mentioned earlier on that you love to play guitar. If you aren't playing your guitar or writing lyrics or making music, what do you do in your free time?
It used to be drink, but I don't really do that much anymore.
Right, right.
But it kind of depends on the day. Recently, I've been since it's getting cold out. You know, I usually when I finish up my day, I've just been like kind of kicking it and playing a little bit of Xbox. Or sometimes I'm just. It's funny though, like you know, I was in the studio till 11 o'clock last night downstairs, just messing around, and just went straight to bed. You know, so it's like music is kind of like my hobby
Right.
as
You're,
well. So I'm
I
always
mean,
around it.
nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, no, I mean it's just what I love to do, so I'm pretty much always around it one way or the other. And you know, like I said, you know, I have my routine. I'm like I said, I'm going to the gym after this, and then I'll come back and I'll start working on music, and then maybe later on I'll go see some friends Friday night. Who knows? But
Oh no, yes, Friday night, you've got to have fun.
I know chances are I'll probably just wind up staying in like playing Assassin's Creed or something.
So stay in and play guitar
And video games.
and video games.
We've been playing some Xbox lately. That's my release. When
What
I don't
is
got
your game that you play on Xbox?
I've been playing Assassin's Creed lately.
Okay.
Game's pretty tight, so been digging that one. It's
And
been cool.
what do you find is the best thing about being a musician?
I don't know. I guess the feeling of just you know a song being created, a chord being strummed, you know, the crowd giving you that energy and singing back your songs. I mean, there's so much to it. I mean, like everything is so good about being a musician.
Of
There's even
course.
there's even bad shit that, is still better than, a normal job. So,
Of course, I agree. When you perform and the audience sings along, how does that energy make you feel?
oh, I mean, that's the best. I mean, there's nothing worse than like being in a room where like nobody knows the song and then they're kind of just like sitting there like, and they're like listening and you can tell like they're just listening, but like it's so much easier to get into it when like people are singing along and like moving around, otherwise then you're just sitting there thinking like, you guys will want me to play a different one, like, I'm not sure. So it's always easier when everybody's singing, that helps you get more into the music and stuff like that.
No, Ryan, if you had the time or the choice, would you give music lessons?
I'd probably be a horrendous teacher. So I want to say no, specifically because of that. I don't think I'd be a good teacher at all. But yeah, I mean, I can point you in a better direction, that's for sure.
Nothing, again, nothing wrong with that. With your favorite song by any other artist?
Oh man, I don't think I could even pick just one. It'll really just depend on the day. I mean, I have probably like a top 10 artists that like have like an honorable 10 on top of that, like that just switch out all the time, man. So like I don't think I could pick a top song. But there's songs that I look at now as like try to study as to why they're so great. And just been listening to a lot of like the simple stuff, like Morgan Wallen's Last Night, how simple that song is. Like, why does it have like 500 million streams already? Been trying to
Right.
crack the code on that. So,
And Ryan, also tell us, where can your fans or future fans find you on social media?
you can find me everywhere at Ryan Jesse Music. That will be my only social for Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Anybody else, it is a fake profile, and you can report and block them because there's been a lot of issues with that
I
lately.
know
So,
that it's actually getting out of hand. I've noticed a lot of artists, they get, I wouldn't say scammed, but their account gets duplicated and then people follow them and then you know the
oh,
rest.
it's been terrible. I mean, like there's been people that reached out to me that like, have lost money sending it to like
Wow.
these fake pages, which I mean, I just want to say, like, if you don't know me, like I will not ask you for money. Like, please don't send strangers on the money internet on the internet money. Sorry, I'm still waking up.
That's
That
okay.
was damn, that was stupid right there. But yeah, don't send strangers money on the internet, and that's my only page. And please, yeah, just don't do that.
I totally agree. I really just okay. One last question for you. How do you deal with the politics of the industry?
Um, I try just to not. I feel like at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is connecting with fans. And I mean, sure, it'll help more if you have, the industry backing you and pushing you out there. But if they're not, what are you going to do? You can't sit there and cry about it,
No, of
just
course.
keep working harder and keep pushing out content and music. And, good music speaks for itself. So
I
that's just
agree.
how I look at it.
I agree. Well, Ryan, I just want to thank you once again for taking time out of your day
Yeah, thanks so
to
much. This
have a
was
chat
fun.
with us and enjoy the rest of your day and kick that Xbox.
Yeah, you as well. Take care.
You too, Ryan.